comes to Islamophobia, there was a time when it was a bit more subtle, when the comments would be what you might describe slightly below the radar. They were not in the mainstream of political discourse. That has completely changed. I referenced there the dog whistle that Nigel Farage blew at the beginning of the general election campaign. Of course, this is a man who has form. He described Muslims, and by the way, the code word for Muslims is migrants, because by the way, they don't mean a certain type of migrant. There's a particular type of migrant that they often mean. That he said they were coming here, they were coming here as a fifth column to kill us all. So this is a man who has form in anti-Muslim hatred and Islamophobia, and is not just elected as the MP. By most predictions, and a lot can change in politics, most people think that he will gain in popularity, his party will gain members of parliament, and I suspect that will be true in the Scottish Parliament. And I mentioned France, Germany, and the Netherlands. So I just take those countries. France, their candidate for Prime Minister, and thankfully defeated, Jordan Bardella, was a man that associated himself with an anti-Muslim group who used to hold pork and wine parties in Muslim neighbourhoods. And there's nobody here, I suspect, that's willing to put a bet that Marine Le Pen won't win a future presidential election. I mentioned the AfD in Germany. The AfD in Germany dedicated an entire chapter in their manifesto a number of years now ago that said Islam doesn't belong to Germany. And the Freedom Party, the Party of Freedom in the Netherlands, Geert Wilders' party, well, my goodness, you could, when it comes to a whole plethora of anti-Muslim figures, he is the Islamophobe in chief. So you have gone from a position where, yes, I've faced Islamophobia, whether it's on social media, whether it's other elected members asking me if I'm hiding behind my burqa, whether it's threats that have been made to me because of my faith. You've gone where it's now so open and on the rise that every Muslim I talk to, and I think there's probably a number in the crowd here, so they can feel free to challenge me, but virtually every Muslim I talk to questions whether or not this country, Europe, and more generally the West, will be safe for them or their families growing up.